Spot On Farm, owned and operated by Katherine Marie Evertz, also known online as Kati Evertz-Garcia, is an animal breeder located in Hastings, Minnesota. Kati has been breeding various dog breeds for a few years, including Dalmatians, Great Danes, French Bulldogs, English Bulldogs, and Chihuahuas. However, the majority of her current focus is on producing so-called rare French and English Bulldogs, especially those marketed as merle or fluffy, traits that do not naturally occur in these breeds. The merle pattern is caused by a sign insertion, short interspersed nuclear element, a piece of parasitic DNA that inserts itself into the PMEL Sylvie gene on canine chromosome 10. This can result in unpredictable gene disruption and serious health risks. Breeds where merle occurs naturally include Australian Shepherds, Border Collies, Cardigan Welsh Corgis, Dachshunds, and Shelties, but absolutely not French Bulldogs, English Bulldogs, Pugs, Boston Terriers, American Bullies, Poodles, or Cavaliers. So when you start seeing these designer merle Frenchies being marketed as purebred and sold for $3,500 and up, something is seriously wrong. In all of these cases, merle was introduced through crossbreeding, often with Chihuahuas, which Kati also conveniently breeds and sells, including merle Chihuahuas. The growing popularity of merle pattern dogs in these breeds is the direct result of intentional crossbreeding, often done to produce high-priced, so-called designer dogs. These dogs are frequently marketed as purebred, when in reality, the merle gene has been introduced through unethical breeding practices. One of the most serious issues with irresponsible merle breeding is the creation of double merles, dogs that inherit the merle gene from both parents. These dogs face a very high risk of congenital deafness, blindness, ocular abnormalities, and additional lifelong health complications. Despite the risks being well documented, double merle breedings continue, primarily because rare coat colors can command exorbitant prices. A common red flag, breeders claiming their dogs are purebred because they embark test as such. An embark DNA test only confirms 3 generations of same breed lineage. It does not rule out crossbreeding further back. Spot On Farm's website lacks essential health and genetic information. While there are photos of dogs, there is no documentation of OFA health testing or certifications. The links to testing redirect users to general search pages without instructions or specific data, an uncommon and concerning practice for any reputable breeder. Kati has produced over 30 French Bulldog litters using the same 4 dogs over a 5-year span, with many additional litters from other breeds. She also occasionally breeds cats, often referring to these litters as accidents, despite having posted 6 or 7 separate cat litters publicly. The conditions at Spot On Farm are both dangerous and inhumane. Over 100 animals are kept on the property, both indoors and outdoors, including dogs, cats, and farm animals. Observed and documented issues include dogs confined indoors for long periods with little to no access to food, clean water, or outdoor space. House filled with pee pads covered in feces and urine, with animals sitting in their own waste. Repeated inbreeding and overbreeding, resulting in animals with mastitis, pyometra, and other chronic health conditions. Breeding animals are discarded or rehomed when deemed no longer usable. Frequent and often unnecessary C-sections, sometimes with tragic outcomes. Dead animals left to decompose near healthy ones for weeks or even months before disposal. No training, no kenneling, and constant aggression among animals, leading to regular dogfights. Animals found to be severely underweight, overweight, injured, or abused. Documented cases of animals being beaten, withheld food, or physically manipulated, poked in eyes, ears, and nose, as punishment. Kati's behavior patterns align closely with those associated with animal hoarding disorder and narcissistic personality traits, including pathological need to acquire animals regardless of care capacity, obsessive collection of rare coat types and trendy looks, emotional detachment from suffering or death, manipulative social media behavior, alternating between victimhood and grandeur, refusal to accept responsibility for harm caused, blaming others for criticism, volatile relationships with other breeders and clients. She appears to prioritize quantity, variety, and image over any genuine interest in health, behavior, or welfare. a hallmark of hoarding behavior disguised under the label of breeding. She also operates a second business, spot-on management, which, according to several sources, involves scamming clients out of rental properties or management agreements. As a result, she is frequently absent from the farm, leaving animals under the care of others with little oversight, many of whom are untrained or even minors. Her primary activity on the property appears to be content creation and marketing for social media. Meanwhile, her animals are suffering, physically, emotionally, and mentally. And when people try to speak up about it, she tries to silence them. Kati has filed false harassment reports, mass-reported Facebook groups and posts, doxed critics and former clients, threatened legal action without grounds, manipulated platforms to remove content. More than 60 individuals have had their accounts restricted or banned for speaking out, including former customers, veterinarians, breeders, and rescue workers, accusing people of bullying and trying to manipulate public opinion to make herself look like a victim. But this is not bullying. This is not harassment. This is accountability. This is exposing a high-volume, high-risk backyard breeding operation masquerading as a legitimate program. Spot on Farm is a puppy mill, and Kati Evertz-Garcia is not a reputable breeder. She is an irresponsible, reckless, and dangerous individual exploiting animals for profit under the guise of love. If you're in the market for a dog or want to help raise awareness, consider the following steps. As a pet owner or prospective buyer, avoid breeders marketing rare colors and dogs without verified lineage and testing. Ask for OFA, PenHip, Bear, Surf, and DNA documentation. Contact breed clubs for lists of ethical breeders. Report unethical listings on sites like AKC Marketplace or Good Dog. Support rescues and ethical preservation breeders. As a concerned citizen, report Spot on Farm to the Minnesota Board of Animal Health. Submit formal complaints to local animal control and state veterinary boards. Share this information widely on Reddit, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and community forums. Contact advocacy groups like the Humane Society, ASPCA, or Animal Legal Defense Fund for support. Participate in petitions, calls to action, or organize protests. What's happening at Spot on Farm is not just unethical. It's systemic abuse. It reflects a growing trend of social media-driven puppy farming that preys on emotionally vulnerable consumers while endangering animals bred for money, not love. This isn't a debate about coat color or breed preference. This is about truth versus profit, life versus aesthetics, and compassion versus cruelty. We do not remain silent. We do not accept lies. We demand justice for the animals already harmed and those yet to be born. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Please consider sharing this video and leaving a comment to help raise awareness.